Good evening, wrestling fans, and thank you for inviting us into your homes this evening. This is the first episode of the first show of its kind in all of sports entertainment. This is the program. It's your pro wrestling talk show for unbiased fans, by unbiased fans, and we're going to talk about all the news, rumors, different things about the wrestling industry that you want to hear about. I'm one half of your team for this evening. My name is H. Knox, and as always, my tag team partner in crime. This is Mike Manhattan. Take it.
Thank you, H. Today on the program, Christian shines, Sheamus kills Jamie Noble, and the best heel turn we've seen in the past 2 years. But we start with our top story, a melancholy topic. Shane McMahon parts ways with the WWE. Now, H, you had an opportunity to read Stephanie McMahon's interview on the internet. Tell us what you learned about Shane McMahon parting ways and how you feel it will affect the company.
Stephanie McMahon recently sat down and gave a rare audio interview, which the McMahons rarely do. She did sit down and talk to a friend of the family. Just a couple questions about her life, her role in the company. But of course, one of the hot questions on the gentleman's mind to Stephanie was, how do you feel about your brother leaving the company? And I mean, she basically said what a lot of us already kind of came to presume, and that's that he's looking to get out from underneath his father's shadow and sort of step out of the family business and try to carve his own little spot in the world. He's working on some personal things, his own business. He does have a family now, so he's basically trying to step away from the world of pro wrestling and try some of his own endeavors here as he gets to the latter part of his life.
Things we've been hearing over the past years behind the scenes in WWE have kind of led us to believe that eventually the people taking over will be Stephanie and Triple H. So, big picture, I don't think that this is necessarily a bad thing, but I look at this as a very sad story. Shane McMahon, he really captured a crowd unlike any other McMahon could in the way that he performed in the ring, behind the microphone, his decisions behind the scenes. We'll always remember Shane McMahon for his daredevil acts of jumping off the Titantron, jumping off the steel cage, his great match that he had with Kurt Angle when he was suplexed through the glass wall.
I mean, it's definitely a sad day. I mean, he could be back. We don't know. This could be a temporary thing, and I mean, like you said, it's probably going to be Steph and Triple H taking over. So I mean, the company I think is in pretty good hands. I guess that's debatable, but he will definitely be missed. There's going to be a presence missing. We'll probably won't ever see him as a guest host, or probably won't ever see him wrestle a match again with Orton or Triple H here or there. It could be the end for Shane McMahon, unfortunately.
Jerry Lynn recently said, "You never retire from professional wrestling." So I wouldn't rule it out to see Shane McMahon in a WWE ring once again.
Could happen. Could happen. On to the next topic. Let's talk about a guy who's a kind of key player in my and your
one of our favorites.
Yeah, one of our favorites, and that's Mr. Christian Cage, back in the World Wrestling Entertainment, back on ECW. Maybe sort of a strange place.
Still on ECW.
Still on ECW. For those of you who don't know, Christian Cage, not so recently, but recently in the world of sports entertainment, did come back to the World Wrestling Entertainment. He has been on ECW. He wrestled there for a few months before he was able to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. Had a little hiccup there. Where,
the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm sorry, the
WWE
Hardcore Championship. He was able to capture that, lost it to Tommy Dreamer, has it back now again, and I almost dare say is outstaying his welcome in the land of ECW, which is not really a bad thing for him, because there's bigger and better things in the horizon for him, I think.
Yeah, the peeps demand him on either Raw or SmackDown. He's got to go. And when he went to TNA, he was a face for all of maybe a month before he turned heel and captured the, at the time, NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which was really great to see. But Christian is, I don't want to say he's suffocating on ECW, because he's obviously thriving in his role there, but it's time to do bigger and better things with this guy. When he went to TNA, he had left from Raw, where he was a multiple-time tag team champion, multiple-time Intercontinental champion. I think the best shot for Christian Cage right now, because Raw is so stacked, I'd put him on SmackDown, turn him heel, rather immediately, and a great rival for him would be John Morrison.
No, I agree. I agree. That would be a great rivalry. Here's the thing with Christian Cage. Right now, he's the champion, ECW, and he is a face. He's not a heel. And his natural, I think, ability lies in being a heel and being a good one. And I was talking earlier about different types of champions you can have and different types of wrestlers you have and the storylines that go into that. I think for Christian to be the world champion as a face is a little boring, because for the face, the story is sort of trying to capture that championship, kind of trying to beat all those other heels, trying to beat on all those other faces and become the number one. Whereas I think a better storyline for a champion is to be a heel champion and kind of have your storyline by trying to fight off the different superstars, faces, guys like John Cena, Triple H, guys that people want to see win matches. Yoshitatsu. Exactly. It'd be better to see him in a heel role as a champion, is what I'm saying. He could fight off all the other top talent and really kind of cement his spot as a great heel of, the last 10 years. But I don't think he can do that on ECW. I think SmackDown, I agree with you,
not the appropriate
place for him to be. Absolutely. Sheamus is a man that you wanted to talk about, another ECW superstar.
I want to talk about Sheamus real quick because, speaking of ECW, ECW superstar, recently making the jump to Raw, which was, to me, surprising, because he really hadn't shown me much on ECW. His feud with Goldust, I didn't really think proved anything, and his whole, I'm here to make ECW me own, that was what it was, and he wasn't really accomplishing that goal.
All right. Let me tell you something, fella. All right. Anyone who knows me knows I am a very, very huge ECW fan. It's a really good place where some of this young talent gets to show themselves off. Maybe not the most interesting characters, maybe not the best put together storylines, but these guys bring it in the ring. And ever since I saw Goofy Sheamus with his pale skin and orange hair and strange accent, I wasn't in love with the character. But much like a lot of the other guys on that were on ECW, you've had guys like CM Punk on there, John Morrison, guys currently on there like Shelton Benjamin. He's obviously been in the WWE for a while, but right now in ECW they're trying to bring in guys who can wrestle and wrestle well. Another great example, Jack Swagger recently made the jump to Raw. Maybe not the favorite superstar of yours again, but these guys bring it, and they get elevated to these shows, SmackDown, Raw. They make the jump, and I saw a lot of talent in Sheamus. I don't love his character, but I can tell you one guy who does, and that's Triple H, and that's the reason that Sheamus is on Raw. Is in recent weeks, actually, this has been reported that Triple H has sort of taken Sheamus under his wing. They've actually begun training together. They've become really good friends, and if you're a friend of the boss, you're gonna go places in the company.
Okay, but with that said, I have been very impressed with what Sheamus has done on Raw in his past 2 weeks. The second match that he had with Jamie Noble, I thought it was great the way that they had the referee had to stop the match. He did the I don't know how you call it, the rock bottom into a backbreaker, which is a great move, but he's kind of dropped that as more of a signature move now, and he's gone to the pump kick, which I'm not as much of a fan of, but the WWE likes to steer away from dangerous moves, which the rock bottom backbreaker is definitely a risky maneuver.
Yeah.
So the safer pump kick is what they've gone with for Sheamus, but that's fine. He leveled Jamie Noble. The referee had to stop it on his behalf before the pinfall, and Sheamus just went right through, throws him out of the ring, power bombs him on the outside. You see Jamie Noble kind of curled up in the fetal position.
The heavy breathing. I don't know how much of that was sports entertainment and how much of that was pain. I mean, Sheamus really powerbombed him shoulders first hard on that outside padding, which, as WWE likes to say, is paper thin. But no, the guy looked like he was in pain, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens with Sheamus.
Yeah, it is exciting to see what's going to happen, because I don't know. I mean, you look at take the United States champion in The Miz. What do you think would happen if they threw Sheamus in the ring with The Miz? Don't you think that Sheamus would be rather easily victorious?
Not only do I think that he might be easily victorious, not that I'm saying that this is something I want to see happen, but I can almost see the fans getting behind him, especially in a match against The Miz. It's so easy for the fans to just decide that somebody's face, and it's then so easy for the WWE to sort of just push them in that direction, even just to elevate their talent. But that being said, I hope he stays heel, and I think he would have a good chance at beating The Miz. I think pretty much anybody in the U.S. title hunt has a pretty good chance of beating The Miz at this point.